Do you know that feeling when a new challenge on the horizon evokes not excitement, but a deep resistance? When we instinctively choose the easy path, even knowing it leads nowhere? This isn't weakness. It's simply a habit. A habit we unconsciously cultivate daily by surrounding ourselves with maximum comfort. We live in an era where comfort has become not just a benefit, but almost a religious cult. The irony is that this endless pursuit of convenience, this sterile environment without sharp edges, makes us incredibly fragile. We lose our ability to adapt, withstand blows, and recover quickly. But what if I told you there's an ancient, time-tested approach that teaches us not to avoid difficulties, but to seek them out? Not for masochism, but to become unshakable in the face of any storm, so that our inner core doesn't break, but only grows stronger. Imagine your mind isn't just a collection of thoughts and emotions, but a complex, incredibly powerful navigation system capable of charting a course even through the densest fog of uncertainty, through storms of doubt and fear. By the end of this, you won't just learn about Stoic discomfort. You'll gain several simple yet surprisingly effective exercises for your toolkit. These tools will help you not just survive difficult moments, but thrive, transforming every challenge into a stepping stone towards your inner, unshakable strength. This isn't dusty book theory. It's a practical kit for forging your personal, impenetrable mental armor, enabling you to face any adversity not with fear, but with conscious readiness and calm. And here's where it gets interesting. We're not talking about seeking problems when they find us. No, we're talking about voluntarily, consciously, and in measured doses, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. Why? Imagine your mind as a delicate muscle. If you never exercise it, it atrophies. Similarly, if you always choose only the easy paths, your inner compass starts to malfunction and your ability to navigate through storms weakens. We train our bodies at the gym to withstand strain, but somehow we forget about our minds. Stoic discomfort is like a personal trainer for your consciousness, keeping it from getting soft and losing shape. Consider Captain Ernest Shackleton and his legendary endurance expedition. They didn't just face difficulties. They became trapped in the Antarctic ice, their ship crushed, and they drifted for months on an ice floe, then in tiny lifeboats on the open ocean. Shackleton couldn't control the weather, the icebergs, or the fate of his vessel. He couldn't change the circumstances, but he had complete control over his reactions and those of his team. He didn't let panic take over. He chose to remain calm, organized daily life, maintained morale, and led his men to a rescue that seemed impossible. His mind was trained not to avoid, but to accept and act under conditions of complete uncertainty. This doesn't mean we should go looking for icebergs, but we can train our inner Shackleton. Start small, pick one thing you usually avoid in daily life, and do it. Maybe it's an uncomfortable conversation, a postponed task, or a phone call you keep putting off. Pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what truly depends on me here? And focus on that single step. This practice isn't about masochism. It's about calibrating our inner perception. We often suffer not from events themselves, but from our expectations and interpretations. Stoics called this the dichotomy of control. There are things we can control, our thoughts, actions, decisions, and things beyond our control. Weather, others' opinions, the past, The irony is that most of our anxieties stem from trying to control the latter. When we voluntarily deprive ourselves of something familiar, for example, skipping morning coffee, taking a cool shower, or walking instead of taking a taxi, we're not just enduring. We're consciously switching from comfort autopilot to manual control. We're telling our brain, look, I'm fine without this. I can adapt. It's like an antivirus for negative thoughts, blocking false alarm signals. Recall the artist Frida Kahlo, who spent most of her life overcoming unbearable physical pain and the aftermath of a terrible accident. She couldn't control her body, but she controlled her inner world, expressing it through art. Her paintings aren't just a reflection of suffering, they're a powerful statement about the strength of spirit, about the ability to transform pain into a unique vision. She didn't avoid discomfort. It became part of her canvas, her fuel, and in this lies a lesson for us. Each evening, before going to sleep, take 5 minutes to imagine how you would handle one small but unpleasant situation tomorrow. Perhaps it's a flight delay, a canceled meeting, or just bad weather. Not to work yourself up, but to play out the scenario in your head, find potential solutions, or at least accept that you will cope. It's like a rehearsal before a performance, where you run through the most challenging notes to sound confident during the concert. This is the impenetrable mental armor we are beginning to forge. This rehearsal, this voluntary encounter with minor inconveniences, is not an end in itself. It's a way to vaccinate your mind. Think of it this way. When you get a vaccination, you're injected with a weakened virus. It causes a mild reaction, training your immune system to recognize and fight the real threat. Similarly, when we voluntarily expose ourselves to a small mental or physical discomfort, for instance, deciding to walk an extra block in the rain even though we could call a taxi, or consciously refusing a dessert we really crave, we introduce a weakened version of future trials into our minds. We're not seeking suffering, we're creating controlled conditions for training. We teach our internal response system not to panic, not to give up, but to calmly analyze the situation and find resources. Each such jab of discomfort is not only a test of resilience, but also raises our threshold of tolerance for stress, uncertainty, and things not going according to plan. We become less reactive, more adaptable. We stop being prisoners of circumstances and start becoming their architects. Try it today. Choose one thing you usually do easily and thoughtlessly, and introduce a minimal but noticeable inconvenience into it. For example, if you always drink coffee with sugar, drink it without. If you usually use a remote control, get up and change the channel manually. If you always choose the closest parking spot, park further away. This shouldn't be a heroic feat. It should be a conscious choice to step out of microcomfort. And the moment you feel a slight resistance or displeasure, just notice it. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Is this really so bad? Can I endure it? And you'll see, the world won't collapse. And your mind will receive another dose of vaccine, becoming a little stronger and more independent. This isn't just about survival. It's about creating a life where you choose your reactions, rather than just drifting along